At some point, we will be live. All right. Welcome to the Fox Den, everybody. I have a different background, as you can see. I'm in Massachusetts. I'm at my daughter's. Been here all week. So a little different. My lighting is just horrible. But, it's dark. I'm in the dark, and I'm in Massachusetts, so I can have my accent.
Lots of R's at the border.
Yeah, no more R's. I'm in Massachusetts. I'm all right. I'm home. but this show tonight, though, we are doing a paranormal show. Right? We love the paranormal, but we don't really do a lot of shows on paranormal. But this one's different, and this is worth it. All right. So if it's on here, it's worth it in the paranormal. But we have Erin Egnatz, right? She writes these books, Hauntings Around America. If you have teams and you want to know like locations, just like say scouting locations, and you want to know a little bit about a location, then this is it, because she has states and a few, not everything. I mean, no one can have everything. There's like a gazillion haunts.
God, they'd have a phone book.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, each edition would be a phone book, right? Because there's so many. But seriously, you can look in here and say, oh, what's in Florida? Oh, you know what? I want to go to St. Augustine. What's it, whatever. You can learn a little bit about different locations, which is really cool. And she's really sweet. And she's yeah, she's been in the paranormal for a while. So we respect that. And she is respectful, and we respect that. But let me play her video, and then we'll get her on here, and you can learn a little bit more about her and her books and such, and then she'll be with us. This week in the Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D, we have Erin Egnatz. She is a wife, mom of 3, a published author, and a paranormal investigator. She has been interested in the paranormal for as long as she can remember, and growing up next door to an old cemetery, she would find herself roaming late at night, watching, wondering if there was anything more out there than her eyes could see. Years later, she would finally have her first paranormal experience in Gettysburg at the young age of 13. It was in this spot of supernatural interaction that would set her on her path into paranormal investigating. Her professional career started while working in healthcare, specifically in hospice care. After some time off following the birth of her children, she began a new career as a writer and an explorer. She has been fortunate enough to work with some of the best in the business, including alumni from both Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures. Her career consists of spotlighting locations around the United States rumored to be haunted, while also bringing the audience the history behind each location. For more information, you can visit her website at www.hauntingsaroundamerica.com, and we welcome you to the Fox Den, Erin. Hey, Erin, thanks for coming on the show with us. We appreciate it.
Hi.
I'm curious to know all about you. All right. So in that bio, there was a lot of information, and I hope you guys actually watch the videos. They take a long time to make them. But now you said you started at 13. Go from there. You take it away.
Okay, so thank you for having me. Yeah, at 13, I was just on a family trip. We went to Gettysburg, and we were just kind of walking around the battlefield. My dad and my sister went one way. My mom and I went another, to an area where I don't know if you know anything about the Civil War. Some people do, some people don't. But it's where Pickett's charge occurred. Mm-hmm. And we were standing there, and we see these men come across, and they're dressed like Confederate soldiers. And I look at my mom, and I'm like, you see this? Are they reenactors? And she's like, they must be, it's Gettysburg. And they get about halfway, and then they just disappear. They're gone. And we look at each other, and then we look back, and it's like they started over again, almost like a time loop. What I have now learned is probably a residual haunting. At the time, I don't know what it was. Yep. We went over to my dad, and we're like, do you see this? And he's like, no, he didn't see anything. and we are watching it, but he's not seeing anything. So half of us saw it, half of us didn't. But after that, I was
Typical.
obsessed.
It is. It's an addiction. It
Yeah,
really is. You know,
yeah,
once you see it, you can't unsee it. And then, you know, and a lot of people don't realize that you can, you know, do stuff to follow it too, you know, and to get involved and everything. So, you know, that's what we do. Hold on. Here we go. Let's see. Hi, so sorry you're having internet trouble. Well, I hope you can hang in there with us.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, right. I know. The internet. I hope the internet doesn't go out here because it's been pouring and there's satellite and this and that. I don't know. It could happen. I don't know. But Gettysburg is crazy. It is crazy. We've gotten tons of stuff out of Gettysburg, all over Gettysburg, and as a matter of fact, one of the first times I had an actual vision that came to me like a dream. I was almost awake, but like a dream like thing. And we were at Little Round Top campgrounds. We were in one of them cabins there, a bunch of us, you know. I had my broken foot at the time. And so I couldn't go hobbling around too many places. But this face came over me like so vivid, you know, and I woke up and I'm going, oh my God, it was, you know, it was a soldier, right? And I'm like, I can really picture it. I'm describing it to them like blonde hair, big mustache, you know, all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, well, that's typical for almost everybody, but it was so specific that I could really see him. So we're going down the Devil's Den. There's a statue right at the beginning of Devil's Den. And I look up because as you're driving, you got to kind of like look up to see him. It was him. I was like, oh my God, that's him. Right. It was so freaky. But you know, when we were there, though, none of us got any. Hey, Mary Jane, and yeah, I love Gettysburg. I absolutely love Gettysburg. But you know, like around there, we didn't get much. Yeah, but by the dog statue, we kind of did. But
oh yeah,
but not a lot around there. However, just going down to one of the battlefields, and I'm standing there with my broken foot, right, and I got my flare going. And I'm just reading the thing. Everybody else is out in the fields and they got everything going on and they're, you know, ghost hunting away. And I'm just standing there with my crutches and my broken foot. And I went, you know what? I got my flare. I'm going to turn it on. So I turn it on and I just start going around and I'm like, I need a medic. I'm like, is there a medic here? For my foot. I said something about my broken foot. And then the EVP on my flare, like, because I'm alone, because everyone else is way out there. There's no cars. There's no nothing. Plain and clear. Whose side? I was like, so I'm standing there with, you know, no one else got anything, and I'm the only one that got it. Just standing in the road. So it doesn't matter where you are at Gettysburg. You can be in a hotel. You can be downtown. You can be anywhere, and it can happen. You know?
Yes, it's an incredible place. It is unlike any other town I've ever been to as far as hauntings go.
Totally. You know, the Cash Town, and now our friends Pam and Steve, they hold the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. You know, so we go do that every year. But they have a haunting Waynesboro. God, it used to be Gettysburg Ghost Exchange, and now it's the Hauntings of Waynesboro. They changed the name, but they're in Waynesboro now. So but you can get all your equipment there and everything, too, which is great. And they have the Haunted Hoover House, which you should write about. And it's amazing, 1912 Haunted Hoover House, and really cool history. But we get a lot going there, too. We've only been there a couple times and got, you know, EVPs. So it's pretty amazing. And hi, Carmen. How you doing? Nice welcome. Share the show because we got Erin and she's here talking about. She's got these books out and a whole bunch of them, right? Hauntings Around America and the diary of places that she's gone and investigated. And she writes you a little synopsis of these different locations everywhere, which is awesome and it's great. You know, it's great for teams. It really is. So
it's not only great for teams. Hold on, just a second. It's not only great for teams. Like, y'all know that I don't do investigations. I probably be the only chick in the whole place going, you know, especially if somebody touched me. Hello, guys, that's against yourself. But it gives you enough information. It just sort of sucks you in and you want to go. So I'm honest, I didn't read the whole book. I did read a couple of thoughts. And I'm like, where am I going? Do this.
Yep. Because then you talk about in here too, like the Haunted Mansion in Adams, the Houghton Mansion, and the S.K. Pierce Mansion. Right, the S.K. Pierce, I almost bought that. I was talking to Edward, and I was this close.
Really?
Yeah, I almost bought it. Right after that, you have Spidergate Cemetery, right? 5 minutes up the road from where I am right now.
No kidding.
Yeah, this is my neck of the woods. So, like we grew up with that. We'd go in there just to party. You know what I mean? And when we were kids, but like a lot of these things in Concord, you got the colonial in Concord. Concord is really the place to be up here. For a lot of battles, the Minutemen and everything.
Right. Yeah.
Minuteman National Park, all those things. Great look. There's a lot of locations around here for hauntings. Now you write a lot about on the other coast because you're in Indiana and you're a lot there. But you grew up in Georgia, though.
I did. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So that.
So,
yeah,
I've been everywhere.
Yeah, that's creepy as hell. The one place I haven't gone is Louisiana. And you wrote about that, and like my friend lives down there now. She keeps saying, let's go to the Myrtle. I'll book it when it comes down, I'm like, yeah, I want to do that in the worst way.
Yes. That is bucket list material there. That I drove by it when I was in Louisiana, but I couldn't go in. I don't know. I can't remember why. But I was like, I need to get back here just for this place alone. It's amazing. It's beautiful, but just the haunted history in it.
I know, right?
Gotta go. Yeah.
God. Oh my God. But you want to find out about these different locations than when she's been, then check out our books. And you can go and let me put up the picture here too for you guys. All right. So it is right here. Okay. So all these hauntings around America. And she's, on all the social medias with Hauntings Around America, make that plural. Okay. And check her out everywhere. And you got TikTok too. Yeah. So on TikTok, are you talking about locations? Are you doing investigations?
It really depends on the day. I haven't mastered TikTok as other people have, so I'm still kind of getting my feet wet there. But I did just post a video on a story that I experienced the other night at an investigation that I was on. That was kind of a creepy story. So I do talk about things that I've experienced. Sometimes I spotlight locations. It's basically the verbal version of my writing.
Cool. Well, that's really cool. Awesome. Hi, let me get back to the comments over here. What's going on? Oh, that's you putting up all these things? Mama.
Yeah. That was her Facebook, her website, and then her TikTok. And I'm sorry, but I have to, every time I look at the camera, y'all know I'm on my little tablet, right? Okay, so like this little guy over here is scared shit.
Yeah, I know. I thought that was a person standing there for a second. And I looked up and I'm like, I'm not used to that.
Sorry, I
it's the opposite. The opposite, because you flipped your camera.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that way. There you go. I know. I love making a creepy background for this, So it's what I do. Carmen's asking, okay, heading to Georgia next year, any cool places to go?
The number one spot is Savannah. It's very old, it's very haunted, and there are ghost tours everywhere. You can do pub crawls that are haunted, you can do bed and breakfasts, you name it. Savannah is the number one location for ghosts in Georgia. But if you're around Atlanta, there's a couple of battlefields, Civil War battlefields, Kennesaw Mountain, Chickamauga. But I would go with Savannah. If you can go, get there. That place is incredible.
Very, very cool. Yeah, we were talking before the show. We were talking about Ohio, and I'm like, Ohio State Reformatory, and you got to get your butt there. honest
Oh,
to
yeah.
God, because that is the best prison by far I've ever been to. And I've been to a lot of prisons, there's
Uh-huh.
no bat's going to come get you either. I really hate a bat messing up an investigation. Nothing worse. Right. And because you're thinking you're getting something and all of a sudden a bat comes flying by.
Right at your head, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. Yeah, they don't come anywhere else. It's right by your head. So unless you have a tennis racket with you,
Exactly.
Yep, which I did do in Rolling Hills, but I chased it all the way down to the end of the building and
Did you?
trapped it in the thing, and then I had to whap it. Mary Jane, talk about haunted locations. You should write about her house. Her house is pretty haunted, really, honestly. I think there's a ley line that goes right through her house. I really do, because there's so many different types of spirits there. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. We did a whole thing on this little girl just recently, and from remote, my friend Tammy, she can kind of remote view, and she was picking up all these things, and Mary Jane was asking, for confirmation and for answers, and we're getting them. So everything we were talking about, things that I'm thinking, things that she's thinking, and another friend of ours, Denny, was thinking, and all these things were coming to place. So then we got all the information on this little girl, how she was murdered by a man. She was going to be joining a convent or part of a convent. What was it? It just crazy. Logan here's a female saying hi in his name this morning. Oh my gosh. And her son is something. I don't know what he is. He is so gifted. So is her daughter, but he is so gifted, but in a way I've never seen.
Really?
Yeah, just like I keep telling her, it's like one of those guys. You ever seen the guys that move things with chi? You know what I mean? Like move a piece across the room type of thing. He's like this kind of powerful, and it's just all bottled up in this little kid. He's just
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, if he develops that, he's going to be just something to watch, And I'm telling y'all gonna hear it here first on the Fox 10, because I see it, I predict it, I know it, I felt it from the kid. It's crazy. It's nuts. I don't know if that's why there's so much activity in that house, because he's attracting it all. I don't know, but I do think that there's something going down the hallway. Talks to the farmer on the property. Yeah, he's just pretty cool. His name is Bob, and he lives with apples. Okay, all right. Maybe it was an apple farm.
Wow.
You never know. But now for gift wise, I mean, when you're in the field, it's something. It's kind of like it just happens. That you get in tune with all these things.
Exactly. I wish that I was a medium. I want to be a medium, but I don't know if my own mind gets in the way or what and rationalizes things, but I can sense them. I know when they're near. My body kind of gives reactions. I don't know if it's like an energy change or whatever it is. If it's a really strong, malicious type spirit, I get very, very nauseous. My head will it'll pound like a migraine. If it's a light spirit, pretty jovial or whatever, I feel like we're having a good time. I feel like I'm center stage and all my friends are around. It's a weird thing to explain, but I can tell if they're good or bad, and I can tell how strong they are, but I can't talk to them unless I have the spirit box or EVP with.
Right. No, I always said the same, almost the same type of thing, right? But I can tell when a spirit comes in because I hear the tones. So a low tone, medium tone, or a high tone. So if it's a high tone, I'm not nervous. A medium tone, I'm not nervous. A low tone, I get a little nervous. It's a good gift to have when I'm taking people on ghost hunts, because I can steer newbies away from something bad. Protects them. It's like, why don't we go this way?
Yeah.
And then, follow me over here, where the nice high tones are over here, right? Because we don't want to deal with them. Kind of fall out, because you and I both, we know bad shit can happen. It is not normal. It is not the majority. It is the minority, but it does happen, and you can't force things. You can't try to, There's no provoking. There's no poking the bear.
Right. Exactly.
Because you'll get the claw.
You absolutely will. Yeah, you have to know when to back off.
Hi, Debbie. You do. You really do. So what has happened to you to humble you in the field?
My most terrifying experience that really humbled me was a couple years ago. I went to an old jail. It's famous for John Dillinger escaping there back, I don't know, 1934 or so. And it was also a place where a lot of Capone's men were. So you're talking about some pretty rough people to begin with. And, my theory is if they weren't nice in life, they probably aren't nice in death. So they're not the kind you really want to mess with. And I wasn't really messing with them. I was just kind of sitting there because my approach is a little different than others that, go from room to room. I kind of just sit and let them come to me. And I was sitting there and I heard the cells start slamming, which is really weird because they're locked open. You can't close them. So it has to be pretty strong to move it. And I looked over at the person I was with and I was like, I think it's time that we go. Things are getting a little darker than I want. Let's go outside for a little bit. And while we were getting up, something started circling us. And I thought it was a bat because they'd already told us bats are here. And I was like, okay, you see that bat? Everything's fine. It's just a bat. It's fine. But it circled us again and it got bigger. And each time that it circled us, it got bigger and bigger. And it was just this black mass. And I was like, we really need to go downstairs and get out of here now. And we got down to the main floor, but the person I was with was halfway up and they were just looking up. And I was like, what are you doing? Come on.
Blacker than black.
Blacker than black. It was, you could not see any light through it. And I was shining my light at it because at this point I'm trying to tell myself, please be a bat,
Yeah.
It's not a bat. But she was halfway up the stairs and her face was devoid of emotion. It had gotten her. Whoa. And she was like, I think we need to go back up. And I was like, no, we don't need to go back up. We don't need to go back up. Come on. What are you doing? And she's like, we need to go back up. And her voice was so weird. I was like, get down here before I drag you down here. And she went up another step and I was like, I'm out of here. So you're on your own if you go up the stairs. And I started slamming things around, trying to get her attention. And she kind of snapped out of it. And we got out of there. And as we were leaving, the door just slammed behind us, just an absolute force. And we're talking about old 1800 doors, those really solid wood doors. Yeah. And I was like, I'm not going back in there. That was really terrifying. And I asked her, what were you thinking? And she didn't remember any of it. None of it. And that's the first time I've ever been around something like that. And I was like, that's never again. So I've learned to.
Yep. And that's that. That you were lucky that didn't go further than that.
Exactly.
Because it could have very easily.
Yes.
You have that blacker than black, and that is the craziest thing to see. And it truly is, because it is. It's like you think you're looking down a hallway and it's dark. Your eyes will adjust to dark, and then all of a sudden it's just enveloped in just such thick black, and then that black will start moving towards you.
Yes.
Run. All right, to get out. Leave. Don't ask who it is. Run. All right. Now, Nicole says, any one particular place that you've gone that you won't go back?
There's a couple places I've been. I won't name names, but they weren't what they were sold to be as far as haunted goes. But as far as places that have terrified me, there is one place called Gypsy's Graveyard. I don't know what the real name of it is, but that's what we all called it. It was Gypsy's Graveyard because supposedly a band of gypsies was pushed out of town and they were forced to camp in this area. And some of them passed because, a lot of diseases. And so they just buried their dead. And they kind of built a graveyard around it. I don't really know exactly all of it, but I went there once when I was much younger. I was 20 or so, and I was really still getting used to the whole field and what you do and what you don't do. And I'm sure I did something wrong. But myself and two fellow investigators were there, and we were about halfway through the cemetery. And this, I don't want to say it was a spirit because I don't think it was. It was another one of those blacker than black mists or
Yeah,
whatever.
those are things that like have never been human.
Right,
You know?
exactly.
So that's a different thing altogether.
Yeah, it's something you don't forget either.
Exactly.
And it was kind of gliding across the cemetery in front of us. It wasn't touching the ground. It was maybe this far off. And it got about halfway, and its head, just snapped to the side to look at us. And then it snapped back and went on its way. You couldn't see its face because it was all just this black mist or whatever. We took off. We didn't even talk until we got to a restaurant at like 3:00 in the morning. And I mean, we were just shocked. And the next day we met up again, and we were in the same car that we took that night, and the radio starts going on and off. Then the car starts turning on and off. And I was like, we brought it home with us. But so to answer your question, I will never go back to that cemetery ever again. There is something very, very dark there.
Yeah. I've never been, there's never been a place that I wouldn't go back to. There are places I won't go to and do for a lot of things like Bobby Mackey's, because I've been humbled. I don't want to put myself in a position of a place like that where it's evil.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't put myself in that place. And you wrote in your book that you want to go there. God bless you. All right. In my younger days, I would have. Now, no.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't. But like Waverly, I have had set up so many times to go to Waverly, and there have been family deaths or close friend deaths or something horrific will happen that makes me cancel Waverly every single time. So I'm like, I'm not even gonna book it again.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose anybody else, one, and I don't want to take that chance,
Exactly.
but what would happen if I went there? Hi,
Right.
Holly, how you doing? Talking about Hoover House. She's always at the Hoover House. But it's just, that's you gotta, your intuitive thoughts, your gut instincts on places. If something's telling you don't go somewhere, don't.
Right.
Because that's direct spirit guide communication telling you, hey, something bad can happen. Don't go.
Exactly.
Trust it, do it, listen to it, don't go. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, she's saying hi to Bob. Did you see that, Bob? Holly said hi. But now, but on those lines, like when you're investigating, do you have a specific, I love the flare. I've gotten so much stuff with a flare. It's amazing. Right.
Oh yeah.
I'm like the flare queen, but I love EVPs. If I had to choose, you got to have your recorder. That's number one on your list, no matter what.
Exactly.
And over a camera any day, just that recorder. But I love my flare. So what's like your favorite thing?
Believe it or not, it's my iPhone. I think because it can do so much, and I'm not always having to grab, 5 different gadgets at once. That's the one thing that I will always have with me. I love thermal imaging. I love it. It's a game changer in a lot of,
it is.
When I went to Waverly, I picked up so many different things because, the hallways are so dark and they're so long that it's really hard to get your flashlight down there, the camera to pick it up. But these infrareds, they can pick up tons of things, the thermal, so I really love those.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So here we go. Here's the apparitions walking. And I'm just going to tell you what this was the whole clip, which sadly I lost on one of my computers. I know I've got it on something backed up somewhere, but the whole clip is 15 minutes long of 15 apparitions walking. It was a sunken basketball court. I'm standing underneath with my partner, at the time in Staten Island team, and we were standing on one of the hoops. In the middle of the court is a room, no doors, no windows, just a changing room for them. Right. So the boys wanted to come out and play basketball. Well, we were interrupting. You'll hear in the background the spirit box, but you hear nothing on. So that I find that happens all the time. You're either going to see them or you're going to hear them, or you know what I mean? It's never really, very rare if you do at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like whatever power, but this is insane. So the 15 of them walking, and then one, because it's a sunken court up above, are 2 long corridors with chain link fences. And there was a guy up top, because I looked up top too, and there was a guy hanging on the fence going like this, looking down at us. So that there was something wrong with him. You know what I mean? Because It's a feeble-minded school. So, but here it is, and it's pretty cool.
Don't be afraid of that device. It's just so we can hear you talk. We don't want to hurt you. Come on in. Come in. Yeah. Come in. Hello. Hi. Yes, it is. What is it? Are you recording it? Yes. What's your name? You want to play basketball with us? Could you move again? Hello? Keep coming, it's okay. We're not going to hurt you. Right there, look at. You got a second. Don't be afraid of us. Come in. If that's you, come in.
But that's like, isn't it cool, right? Though, yeah. But later on, it was sporadic. You know what I mean? But I kept it going for 15 minutes. But in that time, then there was like one part. There was like a group of 4 of them that were together that were like peeking, and then they went back around the corner and peeking, and then there'd be a couple, and almost looked like they pushed you out. It was the coolest thing, and I was just sitting there in awe. I mean, I felt bad because. You would think first residual, right?
Right.
Going to come out and play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
However, no, because they stopped because we're there.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
I know.
That's pretty cool. That is really cool.
Yeah, the whole clip was pretty amazing. I didn't get those comments there, but I got a lot. Yeah, I got a lot of like picture things too. These images. My husband passed away and his face appeared on the pillow, just taking clear pictures. I got Roy going down the hall at Rolling Hills, apparition groping my friend. And this was that Harold the Haunted Doll. That doll is really haunted.
Really?
Yeah, that doll. I deleted because bad things were happening to everybody that was in the room with that doll. And I was just like bombarding it with everything I had in my bag. I'm like ready to disprove this thing in every way, shape, and form, Can't do it. Right. And as soon as and people were getting sick and bad things were happening. I mean, like really bad things. Right. I'm not going to get into details, but just trust me on bad things. So I ended up deleting everything that I had for EVPs and everything off my computer. And then things got better for me, like those are the only pictures I have left of that, And like I say, I just flashed it,
Wow. See, the dolls, they freak me out. When I go to a place and they have dolls, I avoid those rooms usually because they just freak me out. I'm not afraid of ghosts, but the dolls freak me out.
I know. There's two in particular. I don't know if you've ever been to oh God, Bob, help me out here. Pat's place. What is it? Oh God. The Knickerbocker, and I think it's Erie. But she's got this, big old inn, and it used to be like hooked to, I don't know, like a playhouse or something, like a theater type of a thing. And they used to be connected, but then like all sealed up, but you can still see where they would go through and whatever. But the hotel itself is really haunted. And way up on the third floor, she has all these rooms with different themes. Like she has a Lincoln room, and she's got a soldier room, and she's got this Asian room, right, for Asian women. And there's this little Asian doll. That doll, I did the flare on her and held the flare on her, and her face changed. She did not want to be Asian. She wanted to be American. And I swear to God, we're watching it, and I'm like, do her eyes look like they're getting more round? I mean, seriously, they do. They look like almost all, regular American eyes. It's changing, and I'm going, oh my God. And I'm filming it, so it's on the film. And then I showed it to her, and she's like, yeah, because she's heard it before that, the girls were just abused, being Asians, especially in that time frame. And so she really wanted to be American. So now get this. Excuse me. A group goes in there after us, and that doll ended up getting broken. Her face got broken. So she sent her out to be repaired. When she came back, she looked more American. So when we had gone back there, because we take people there for ghost hunts, right? When we go back there, and I asked her, are you happy that you look more American now? And I didn't get any answer, but it's like you just know it because it feels different.
Right.
And I'm just like, and you smile because but that's the same location that a doll went to that Bob encountered. It's a clown doll, a really creepy looking clown doll, but it's a woman's spirit that's in it, Justine Rose, and how Bob got that doll was for his old team. Someone called up and said, hey, can you come, and figure out what's going on? I should have Bob come in and tell the story. What's going on with this doll? What's going on in my house? Because I'm hearing footsteps and it sounds like cap guns or something going off outside her door. And Bob said, did you bring anything new into the house? And she's like, well, I went to a yard sale at a nursing home, and she bought the doll there. So the woman passed away at the nursing home. Okay. But she bought the doll there, and she brought it home. And he said, well, take it out. So she took it out and the stuff stopped. She goes, okay, well, can you come get it? So Bob takes it. He actually throws it in his truck. He forgets he has it, even a little bit. Then him and at the time his partner Dave, they're trying to bind it and stuff. And John Zappis gets involved, and he was going to take it. But then Pat said, no, I want it. I want it at the Knickerbocker, and I will treat it right, and I'll give it a good home. And because we found out we're doing an investigation and said, we were like, what is your name? It said Justine Rose. And that was the name of the woman that passed away at the home, right? So it's really kind of cool. But Justine loves Bob, right? And it's this crazy, creepy clown doll, right? Male creepy clown doll, but it's Justine loves Bob. So whenever Bob goes to the Knickerbocker and he puts his domes, we have static domes that we make, and we put them around, and she'll answer by different domes and stuff with him like this. Not anybody else but him, because she loves them, It's kind of creepy. I don't know if I have that picture up there, but I used to have that on.
Creepy old ladies.
But I don't think I do anymore. If I was home, I could probably put the picture up on here, but yeah, it is a creepy clown doll. Ugh.
Yeah, not my thing. Double whammy there.
Yeah, it's just, oh my God. And then like Trans-Allegheny, right? Trans-Allegheny, another thing, like what happened to me there. Adam that works there? Does see that big, huge burn on the back of his neck?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that happened right after, and I think I got that on here too. This I was in disbelief of watching, because I'm even trying to say, it's got to be your footsteps, because Copperhead, right, Greg? He was walking from the other room into the kitchen, but he was standing by the door. Hi, Brenda. And he's standing by the door, and he's trying to do a flashlight thing. And I don't like flashlight things, but he's trying to do a flashlight thing. And then he walks away. And then all of a sudden, these heat footprints walk by. But Adam, who's in a wheelchair, is sitting right there. And as the thing goes by, burns the back of his neck like that. Because, you know, and I'm just like, whoa. And I got it on.
I don't know who it is, because normally they don't run away from me. Usually they stay right here, don't they? Chef's actually put an X mark on my back.
Oh my God, that was freaky.
Wow.
I think it was just your footsteps, but the way that they appeared, they just kind of went.
Wow.
I know, right? I'd never seen anything like it, so I'm just going, yeah, it had to be your footsteps. I like your footsteps, you know, because you're not believing what you're watching. But it could have
Right.
been his footsteps, because his footsteps were a lot wider pattern. Because if you really look at the clip after, a lot wider pattern, and the footsteps would set and go this way. But they did keep going, and they did burn Adam, which was he was just off frame, just sitting right there, you know.
And that's a big burn. That
Yeah,
wasn't even small. Wow.
I know. So a heat thing, and that was like the start of my humbling.
I bet
It
that'll do
was, because
it.
I went from Massachusetts to Staten Island to pick up Frank, and we went all the way down the Trans-Allegheny. Then we went to Hillview, and then I dropped Frank back off in Staten Island, and then I went to Houghton Mansion, and then I did the Hoosac Tunnel and the graveyard, and I took a spike and a brick home from the tunnel. I hadn't slept in days and days and days. I was out of my mind. And I never take anything from anywhere. And I please everybody, do not take anything, not even a pebble, from a haunted location, because you don't know what's going to happen. And I found out what happens is it cost me a lot of money. This thing, whichever location that it came from, because I'm not even sure, probably with that spike and the brick, because that was stupid, you know, wrecked my house. I mean, really blew up my computer and my television and my printer. And it wasn't lightning storms or anything like that, because they were different. It was like within a 2-week period on intervals, but 1 week in particular, and then smashed my microwave even, you know. And I'm just like, okay. And then I did these EVPs, and I'm like, all right, so you're a big man that can do all this damage. I'm like, what's it going to take for you to show yourself to me so I know who I'm dealing with? And the EVP was sacrifice your dog. And I was like, that's it. And I'm like, I'm calling up all my friends that I know that are very powerful in the field. And I said, you're coming over, and we're getting this thing out of my house, you know? So it was nuts. It was nuts. I'd never seen anything, you know, people talk about things like this happening, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm like, yeah, that doesn't really happen. Yeah, it does.
Oh yeah.
It does, you know, so you got to sleep. You can't do too many locations. You got to be, you know, clear-minded. You know, it's not like we were out drinking too. Don't drink, don't do drugs, don't do this and that.
Right.
Because these things can attach and come.
Yes,
know?
they can.
Yeah. Mary Jane said I had scratches on my shoulder when we were sitting on the porch at the SK. Yeah, that can be crazy there too.
Yeah.
Right after the boy across the street started waving at somebody above us, kept at it until his mom called him. Really?
Wow.
Really? Yeah, there's a little boy spirit supposed to be in there too that goes from window to window to window. But I was really attracted to that building, like heavily so. And I'm hitting the wrong buttons here. But I wanted to buy it in the worst way. I was like obsessed with it. But I'm glad I didn't, because the people that bought it just renovated it so beautifully. It's like, oh my God, it's like a different building. And I wanted to go. We might still go, maybe tomorrow. Take a ride out there and see it, because Bob's never seen it. And
I haven't seen it in person, just pictures, but I mean, wow. That is my dream, to own like a nice haunted place, but they, you know, just to get it back to, you know, good shape, it costs a lot of money to get them back to where their glory, you know.
Yeah, Joni, she just said Joni was the one that saw the scratches on her. Joni Mahan, she's an author of a gazillion paranormal books, you know.
Oh, really?
And she wrote a couple books on the Pierce Mansion. But I had just met her, and I was trying to convince her to buy the place with me. I'm like, I just couldn't do it by myself. because I knew it was just going to be such a big thing. And I'm like, I know she was so involved with it as much as me, you know, like just wanting to do the right thing for a place, a location, you know. But the people that bought it did, you know, I'm happy, you know, I really am.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. But you got to go. You got, if you come up this way, you got to go see it.
I
Yeah.
want to
Oh,
so bad. I'm going to
it's,
try and fit that one in, even if it's just, you know, a drop in, drop out type thing.
oh yeah. Just call up Mimi or Miriam. Call me. I'll get you in there.
Awesome.
Just get in there, you know. Yeah, it'll be worth it. Really worth it. And then if you come up to Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania,
My favorite place. I
Yeah.
did.
Is it really?
Oh, I love it. The whole state. I love investigating there. People ask me all the time, "What is your favorite state to investigate?" Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. You know, that's funny because Massachusetts, I grew up here, you know, my whole life, right? And they always ask me too, if you could move, what state would you move to? Pennsylvania. And that's where I live now, in a big old haunted house.
I love it.
Yep. I do love it. It's awesome. And it's so close to everything. We're like 2 hours, a little over 2 hours from Getty's, you know. Yeah, where it was 8 from here.
Right. Yeah.
Which you do gladly.
Yeah. Yeah. But 2 hours is a lot better, right?
That's much better. What locations do you like that's close to you? Like now, my friend Joni is now in Indiana, and she's doing haunted harmony walks and stuff like that.
Okay.
New Harmony.
New Harmony. Okay. I'm up near Chicago, so I do a lot around here. There's a place called Fowler, Indiana. There's an old jail there, and then there's a movie theater there. They're both really haunted. I've had some really fun investigations there. They're not really dark spirits. They're just kind of, you know, we're here, pay attention to us kind of spirits, you know, my favorite kind.
Yeah. Yes.
So those are really fun. And they're both a block away from each other. So you can do both in one night. It's really nice. On the other side of Indiana, there's a town called Winchester, Indiana. And there are, I want to say there's like 4 different places just in that small town. One of them is an old mansion. It's the old stone mansion. That place I investigated by myself, and it was a bit more intense. It's a big, huge mansion, but the spirits aren't necessarily welcoming there. I got some really weird EVPs there. They really wanted me to leave. So, you know, I got the hint and left after about 6 hours of that one. And then there's an old TB hospital, and it's a famous one, but I'm drawing a blank right now of what it is. But it's in Winchester as well. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know out there because I don't go out there.
Right.
It's far for me to drive. I mean, if we were going to go out there, like we did Penhurst Paracons, and they bought some place out that way. They wanted us to do a Paracon out there too at some hospital or something that they bought. And but if we did, we'd be going out there for quite some time because we're gonna go see a bunch of locations.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, exactly.
I'm going out there. I'm gonna see all, you know, these cool places. Now she's friends, Mama D's friends with a lot of people in like California area that do a lot of the investigations in that area, Nevada and stuff. You know.
Oh, okay, yeah. There's some great ones out there. I haven't got to investigate in those 2 places. I've seen some of the places, but I haven't actually got to investigate. The furthest west that I was able to investigate was Tombstone, Arizona. But there's some places in California I want to hit, like Alcatraz.
I know. Yeah. All right, bucket list. The place that you would want to go to most out of anywhere, like anywhere on the planet, right?
I want to go to the UK. And pretty much anywhere there, but specifically a castle. It doesn't have to be any one castle, but just a castle. So,
yep, I love you.
I love
castles. I love castles. Oh my God. Yes. My daughter's out in Germany right now. She's went to the humongous castle, and she's gone to Paris. She's gone into the catacombs just for me. to
That's
take
awesome.
pictures just for me. I'm like, I'm living vicariously through my daughter on these travels because I can't go. But,
I'm jealous. I want to go.
I love the castles so
Yes.
much.
I think that would be fun to investigate too,
Mhm.
kind of check out a darker side of them because, we're ghost hunters, so that's what we like.
I know, right? I
Right.
mean, it's like you plan a vacation. Is it haunted?
Right,
But
exactly.
if you can't go across the pond, there are so many locations in the United States. If you're in the U.S. and like you wrote about one, like going to St. Augustine is flipping
Yes.
amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It's the oldest jail. Hey, it's the Fountain of Youth. It's like all kinds of things going on there. The lighthouse, the
Do you think it's
fort.
the Fountain of Youth?
Hmm.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's a cool town that you don't even realize because I guess Florida's overshadowed by, Disney World and Orlando
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
Fort
And this
Lauderdale,
is
so you don't hear about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is way up top too. They still have pine trees, but they still have, and they do have like there's pine trees up here. But then you come down, and you get a lot of the Spanish moss. You learn about the Spanish moss and you know where the saying came from, but don't let the bed bugs bite and stuff. And now
Right. Yes.
mattresses and all that. It's a learning place. But the cobblestones on the side, the streets, the I can't remember the name of those shells that are in the walls because of the sea. Not conch is something else, but what the heck are they? Oh God,
Conch?
don't get old. They're not conch, but they're little teeny shells, but they use them to make the walls, that divide in between. But if you do one of the little tours, like horse and buggy tour and stuff, Thomas Edison was there. He had some inventions. He had a big mansion there. It's like there's so much history there. It's such an old city.
Mhm.
But the conquistadors were there. There's so much. Everything is going on there, and haunted. It's haunted as hell.
Oh yeah. It is. It is really haunted. I want the lighthouse. I want to reserve it for a couple hours. I just need a couple hours by myself without other people in there or, as a team.
Yep.
So I can check that place out because I've heard some amazing things about it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Because I did not go in the lighthouse or the fort, but I was around all the town and everything.
Mhm.
He couldn't when I was there. He couldn't get in there. It was just packed at all times.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like you. I want to go in there. I'd love to go in by myself.
Yes.
And just I want to feel what I feel. I want to know what I sense,
Mhm.
and just have my recorder and maybe one other something. But as long as I got my recorder, I'm happy. And just talk to me,
Exactly.
and you'd get full conversations easily.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
It's freaking monster.
Excellent.
There is a haunted abandoned prison in Pittsburgh. Do you know which one? I worked on a movie there many years ago, and I had to leave and couldn't breathe. They were shooting a scene on one of the cells, and the energy was suffocating. Eastern states, maybe?
Could be that one.
Well, there's so many jails. God, I that's the one I would think. I don't know. But they shot a lot of movies there because that's where Al Capone was. That's his cell.
Oh yeah, that's right. Have you investigated that one? I haven't been there yet.
I don't like it.
No.
It's too close to the road. Everything is like
Oh.
it's
yeah.
you can't really say for sure. You can, but you can't. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially with the skeptical people.
Right. Exactly.
But seriously too though, so scary with the underground power. Yeah, they all have underground parts. I say they all have underground parts.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's the big wheel like thing. It's crazy. They're all cool. They're all cool. I'm not. I can't say. This is not my favorite. Ohio State's my favorite for a prison. If you're gonna go to a prison, you're gonna go out that way. Go there. Go there. She's got to go there.
Yes.
And when you do, you have to tell me,
Oh, I think everyone will know when I get there.
Oh, yeah.
I'll make sure everybody knows.
Yeah, it is great. What time we got, Mama? All right, we're doing okay. So Athena's going to be coming on.
I got a quick question. I think it's quick. Okay. Listening to both of you talk, and you both like to go into places by yourself. Now, I've heard from multiple people that you shouldn't go in by yourself. So,
True.
what are your opinions on that?
That's true.
Yeah, you shouldn't. I do, but you should. um, I
Oh, look at
I would.
somebody else roll their eyes over there.
I do too. I do the same thing. I
Yeah.
do. I do.
Um,
But I'm very protected,
right.
and a lot of people aren't,
Exactly. Just
so
like I was saying earlier, how my co-investigator was affected. I wasn't, because I do know how to protect myself, but it took years to get to that point.
Yeah.
If you're new, don't even
don't.
think about it.
No,
Don't
yeah, don't.
ever think about it.
No, don't go
So
wandering around cemeteries at night by yourself.
right.
Don't do stupid things.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know, because a lot of people too think that cemeteries aren't haunted. They're like, oh, well, the dead people are going to be hanging around cemetery. It's just their body, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It could be someone going to visit. It could be that god awful thing that's not even human. It's
Right.
just, and it's, you don't know what goes on there. I mean, if you're in a cemetery and you're like, even a EMF meter goes off or something, there's no electrical anything around there to
Right.
make that thing go off. Okay, so why else would it go off? All right, the things do happen. They happen everywhere. Here's the thing: the planet has more dead people than live people. Okay, so no matter where you go, it's going to be haunted. Yes, and even from a human safety viewpoint, yes,
Mhm.
yes, definitely,
Exactly.
definitely. You got to be protected. You got to take care of yourself first, and you got to know how to do that. And we do, we talk about that quite a bit, on techniques for grounding and shielding, and it is intent. Intent is number one.
Mhm.
To keep yourself safe. So your belief system and your intent is key in how you can strip negative energy, how you can infuse positive energy, how you can create a bubble around you, how you can put mirrors on that bubble so if anything comes at you and sees itself and runs off because it's scared itself. You know what I mean? Things like that. It's just, where you're going, what you're protecting yourself for. There's so many different things.
Exactly.
What's your religion? What's your, are you a shaman, Native American, whatever? Where you going? That's the main thing, is know you. That's why it's good to have things like this, because you get a little synopsis of where you're going, what you can prepare yourself for, how to protect yourself for. It's key. It's key for all of it. All right, Mary Jane, I'm sorry, I didn't read that because I was yapping. What was this first one? You need to worry about other humans more than the dead.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's, too, a lot of people are out there because they watch the shows
Mhm.
and they think they're big bad ghost hunters, and they grab all kinds of equipment and go running out into the field.
Right.
And then they, oh, throw something at this one. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Well, when they go to the hospital getting stitches across their head because they get a 2x4 thrown at their head, because that does happen. They can throw buckets, rocks. They can crash things down on you. If there's a thing leaning against the wall, I've seen boards go down that were leaning the opposite way and they go down that way. I mean, this happens.
Oh yeah.
You don't ask for it. And you don't ask for your friend because, if you do, you're not really a good friend.
No.
But you got no business being in the field either.
Nope.
I told you I yap when it comes to paranormal. And I don't do it on a paranormal. I'm sorry.
It's a passion. I get it. I'm right there with you.
I know. I'd love to investigate with you because, we'd be doing the same thing. I'd be like, all right, you go up to the third floor. I'll go on the basement.
Right.
Later, right? And like I made my own little rig, like with a flashlight that has a screw thing on the top, like you would screw a camera onto, right? And it's got a red light and a white light, but that's my handle. Then I got a plastic thing on it. I put my GoPro on there, my 2 IR lights, and I'm ready to go, so my full spec GoPro and my recorder, I got it velcroed right on it. So that the whole thing, it's right there. Boom, done. To go
That's a great
by
idea.
yourself. So it is. We used to do that all the time. The Staten Island team, it would be like, who's going to come up with what cool piece of equipment or how we're going to put it together, and that's what we used to do. Have a little contest on what can we do, like with those stupid little sea things. We did so many funky things hanging off of them, look like moose coming in. I'm like, but they're too wobbly. I'm like, no, I don't like it. I want something more compact and something that I can see over. And this, I could just click the light and I can have red light. I can see where I'm walking without tripping, right? and not interfere with my IR light. It's like,
Yeah,
it was
that's a
perfect.
great idea.
I know, right? So it's like I love coming up with these cool, funky things, but we don't really get to do that anymore. Once you get like to like what we do now is taking people, and we're more interested in what they're doing, or letting them borrow equipment, or making sure they're safe, and making sure
Mhm.
the place stays safe and stuff like that. But
Right.
I miss just kind of going and
Yeah.
investigating different.
It's fun, it's kind of, if it's a hobby like you and I, it's something you really look forward to. I like, bringing people in as well, but I also like my times to investigate.
Right, right. Yeah, even when we were off filming, I'd just go off sneaking by myself. I get in trouble all the time, you know. Like, we go together as a team. I'm like, yeah, but I heard the noise over there. I'm gonna run to it. All right, so
Exactly.
I'm gonna investigate. I'm sorry. That is what I do. Okay, so anyway, we're gonna have to take just a little itsy bitsy breather, because we're gonna talk about this here smoky quartz with the one and only Athena Bari. Okay, I'm going to play her little entry video thing. So, Athena, you're not coming on until after the thing. Don't be sitting there saying something's going on. Right? You're going to play your little video, let it end, and then you'll be up here, and then we'll be back after that.
Well, hello, loves. Thank you for that beautiful intro. I am Athena Barry, Reiki Master and author of award-winning book, Raise Your Vibes. Raise Your Vibes Crystal Oracle deck now, yay! And creator of crystalreikihealer.com. And I'm so grateful, as always, to be back for another episode on the Fox Den Show with our Crystal of the Week segment. So let's dive in. For this week's segment, I have so many crystals here. For this week's show, I really felt called to the energy of smoky quartz. Let's see if you can see. This is a nice pointed one there. Yes, this beautiful crystal. Oh, and I should show you my big one, of course, right? This beautiful crystal is like the go-to for grounding our energy. The color is actually created, and you'll see it in different, as you can see from these, you'll see it in different shades and colors of brown. And that's really because it's clear quartz that has been exposed to radiation, which is also why it is so helpful in shielding us from the harmful effects of EMFs, or electromagnetic fog. So that's in our environment, from our computers, from our laptops, our cell phones, from the sun. It really helps shield our energy system, so that, and especially lately, we've been getting hit with these solar storms. If any of you are familiar, you can check out the Space Weather channel. They'll tell you all about it. And these are rays that are coming in from the sun. So this right now is especially a great crystal to keep close, because it really kind of takes the hit for us. Now, smoky quartz helps us also to balance and to bring clarity to our thoughts. So we can also uncover, what matters to us most, and likewise, how to manifest our goals, right? Because if we have clear sight and intention and minds, we're better able to focus on what it is we truly want. This stone activates our root chakra, so essentially neutralizes negative energy from our emotional body. It helps to absorb those lower vibrational emotions, like depression or anxiety, overwhelming stress, and the fear attached to loss, or in tonight's show, for example, even ghosts. So with the fall equinox and our first day of fall landing today, happy fall, everyone. This is meant to be a magical time to connect with your spirit guides. And the amazing attributes of smoky quartz allows us to open our third eye to that clear and divine communication with your spirit guides. So while you're staying grounded right here in the physical plane. Likewise, this crystal is amazing for manifesting, as I'd mentioned, because it's like you're free to dream and to soar while bringing those dreams, right, out of your mind, out of the divine, and bringing them into our physical world and into your reality. This is a great choice, likewise, to keep at family gatherings or friends gatherings, especially anywhere there's been, recent discord or arguments. Likewise, those that are dealing with the shock of like grief or loss. Having the Queen pass, a lot of people in England are struggling right now. So smoky quartz is a great one to help kind of bring you back centered and grounded. Likewise, and because of this show, it is especially helpful also when you're visiting haunted locations. This keeps you from, and keeps the energy from freaking you out too much. Smoky quartz will allow that. It works in a way that allows our emotional body to release resentments and suppressed emotional strain. And anybody who does ghost hunting will certainly know that those ghosts that are haunting, it's because they certainly have some of that same stuck kind of emotional pain or energy lingering here on our physical plane. So when we have that strong anchor walking into these types of environments and a balanced root chakra, we can really handle any difficulties or scary situations with a whole lot of grace. Now, for this week, we will also see this new shift in energy. It's here, it's coming, we're in the middle of it. Like I said, today marks the first day of fall with the equinox. And of course, we have the ongoing saga of Mercury retrograde until the 2nd. And then coming Sunday, we have our beautiful new moon in Virgo, which, being an earth sign, smoky quartz and that grounding energy is an excellent choice. And that's going to land here on Sunday, the 25th. So if any of you actually are local in Los Angeles, I'm having a goddess circle on the beach. So tickets are on Eventbrite. I'd love to see you there. It would be fun. I love when the virtual world becomes our reality, right? And now, if you're not here, I get it. Many of us are feeling this shift, some more than others, more strong. And smoky quartz is really just an excellent tool to keep you grounded, connect with your spirit guides, and manifest those dreams into reality. I have another ASMR, of course, healing video featuring smoky quartz to help you ground. It's up on my YouTube channel. If you feel called to receive some wonderful and free distance Reiki after tonight's show, please do. Now, as I mentioned, Mercury retrograde, it comes to a close on October 2nd, a date to keep in mind. And so hang in there. In the meantime, ways that you can use this beautiful crystal, if you have one yourself, it is excellent for your manifesting moon water on Sunday. So Saturday night or Sunday night, place out your water, put your smoky quartz there, and do your manifesting work. It's an excellent tool to bring in that energy. It's also great for jewelry because this is clear quartz, but because it's such a hard stone, it makes for really wonderful jewelry. I have lots of bracelets of it that recently I gave away on my trip to Belize. When we got stranded, our golf cart, everybody drives a golf cart there. Our golf cart broke down and we were stranded in the middle of this desert, deserted road. And these just amazing, lovely people, this family stopped, and we had nothing, credit cards don't work out there, right? So the only thing I had were my crystal bracelets as a token of gratitude. So it's great for currency in a pinch as well. Likewise, it's wonderful in your crystal grids if you're creating them. I did a crystal, I can't show you, it's on my desk, but I did a wonderful healing session for this very special lady today, and I had lots of smoky quartz in her grid to help her stay grounded and bring her back into a state of peace. I also love to stick them in my bra, but you can put them in your purse, in your pocket, wherever you're putting it, you want to keep it close to you. So that's why I always like it kind of against the skin or in a pocket. It's also great for supporting your sleep. If you're having trouble sleeping during all these, solar storms, equinox, spooky ghosts in your house, Mercury retrograde madness, this is a great one to keep under your pillow or on your bedside, so that when you go to sleep, you wake up feeling grounded, feeling centered, and maybe even remember some of the communication you had with your spirit guides during, the sleeping hours. Likewise, it's great anytime you feel called to having that supportive energy to stay centered, stay calm during times of stress. This is a great choice. You can also keep it. It's great for your baths, your spiritual showers. If you don't want to put it in the water, you can keep it just next to you on the tub. It's a great way to ground yourself as you're also working with the element of water. And of course, you can keep it, in your hands. Just hold it between your hands or in the palm of your hand while you meditate. Wonderful for meditations, keeping grounded and letting your mind fly, Great combo. Who doesn't want to do that? You got that anchor and then you're flying. I love it. And of course, I love to leave you with a wonderful affirmation to help you connect with your crystal's energy. And for smoky quartz, I am grounded, protected, and guided by the divine as I manifest my dreams into reality. Thank you so much, ladies, for having me join you again this week. I hope this has brought value to your show. And I am wishing you all love. Thank you.
Of course. And Erin?
Hello, Erin. Nice to see you. Thank you. Likewise.
I saw her nodding her head as you were going along, agreeing with you. Yeah.
I love crystals. I wear smoky quartz when I go ghost hunting on my both arms.
Oh my gosh. See, look at that. No coincidences. Once again, I love it. I love it. I usually keep them, but on that trip to Belize, we were stranded and we had nothing. And I was like, I can't just let these people help us. And, it's me and my husband and 3 kids were in literally the middle of nowhere. And they stopped and the guy got on the ground under the truck, fixing it. It was wild. So I'm like, please let me.
Yeah, right. I know.
Let me give you something. Yeah. So it can work as currency too in a pinch.
So sweet.
Yeah. But I love that you use that on your ghost hunting. That is just very, very cool. That really just validates all of what I've just been saying. I love it. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. Like you needed it.
We all need validation. It's Mercury retrograde.
No, it is. I know. We're not even going to get into Mercury retrograde stories. No, we're not.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Almost over.
Yes.
So
almost. Another week. Yeah.
But the two of you, 3 kids, moms of 3 kids.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
But, a little bit of madness.
A little bit, yeah.
Madness, yeah. How are your kids though, Erin, when you go somewhere? Do they say anything?
Do you take
don't
them
care.
with you?
They no. No, they I've taken them to Gettysburg and whatnot, but they're just not interested in it. They don't really care about any of it. My husband's like, go do it, but I don't want anything to do with it, so
just don't bring them home.
Nope, they stay home. He watches them and it all works out.
Yeah. As long as you don't have those ghostly visitors coming back with you, they're like, it's fine. Go do what you want, right?
Yep. Yeah.
They can stay at the door.
Right.
Yeah. She knows how to protect herself, and I feel like she's my sister. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Exactly the same.
Going to investigate.
Yeah, I do. I do love that. I wish everybody that I want to go investigate with is always so far away. You're so far away. You're so far away.
Where are you, Erin?
I'm near Chicago.
Oh, yeah. We are all over the place tonight, aren't we? Yeah.
We are. My God. Thank you, Internet. for bringing people together. But her books though are really cool because you can learn about locations of probably even your neck of the woods, with all her books. It's just little snippets, little areas. She'll pick a state and then different things, Kentucky and Minnesota, Nebraska, New Jersey. What do you got in New Jersey here? Nothing about the Devil Street. Nothing about the Jersey Devil. And then
I was gonna go with that one, but
There's only so much room, right?
there is. I know. Like I said, it would be. You'd fill this room with books if you wrote about every haunted location.
Didn't Erin say that she wanted to go to California?
Yeah. So where's the road going?
No, well, she should do. Athena's right there, and Erin's underneath you. So I don't care whether, but they can, get together and you never know.
When you were talking about your event, I was like, I want to go to that.
Oh, I would love to have you join us. Well, if you are making it out to California in any of these, coming months, year, whatever, drop me a line, let me know when you'll be here, and I'll try to organize it around, when you're here, and then you get to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that'd
that would
be
be
so
so
much fun.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah,
But
I love when the reality of, like our virtual reality becomes real.
I'm in the dark.
I still haven't met these two beautiful. Wait, how do I do this? Yeah, like that. These two beautiful ladies. These ones are here. Yeah, I got it the second time.
I don't think I like this light. I'm like, I forgot to turn on this little light. I'm just not even going to deal with it.
No, I think it's better without.
I'm in the dark.
You're paranormal.
You seen it earlier messing with lights.
Oh my God, yeah, we look like raccoon. These overhead lights are it's just horrible.
The overhead is hard. You need one of those like portable like ring lights,
Yeah, that's what that thing is. It's my daughter.
Oh, it is.
It's her laptop, her thing. She had brought up before I left. She's like, "Oh, here, why don't you try this?" And it's this big, long, like a strip light thing. And she puts it on. I'm like, "Oh, holy cow, no!"
Nope, not doing that.
Beat me out of the room. I'm like, no, I'm not calling spaceships.
That's not this show.
Not this
show.
I
love it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, my loves, I would love to stay and chat and hang out, but I have to go. I have to go be mama. I know. I can watch it after when I get back. And then hear all about the ghost stories. Yeah, and then maybe
you have ghost stories.
I do have some ghost stories. I didn't like my ghost story. I've had good ghost stories and bad ghost stories, actually, I should say. So it wasn't all bad. Like the recent ones were really lovely, but when I was a kid, they were not that fun. And then I kind of just tuned it out for a long time, and then it started coming back. But when it did, I wasn't scared. So I don't know why. I don't know. The nice ones came around.
Yes.
When I was quickly before I leave, when I was, I think I was 19, totally embarrassing story, and nobody's allowed to Google search this. Okay. But I did, I was an actress back in my day, and they were doing this like film thing called, and I was just walking past. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. And it was for MTV. Anybody remember MTV?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it was MTV's Fear. Does anyone remember this show?
Oh
Fear?
my God, yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm walking, just like on Sunset, whatever. And they're doing this whole casting thing. And somebody spots me and is like, "Oh, you should come here and talk to us." And I was like, okay, what's up? Like, what do you want? And they're like, "Oh, well, we're doing this show." And I'm thinking, okay, well, that could be good, like exposure, right? Totally was not. But, and because I was atrocious, I'm just going to say right there, it was a reality show where you had to last 4 days in these like scary environments, right? And they ask you what your fears are. So I'm like, I can't share my real fears. Can I say snakes? Can I say like all these other things that didn't count? And I didn't even think about, ghosts and stuff, but they ended up putting me on this military ship. And it was a, one of those big, what was it called? Like not the Defender or Destroyer. I don't know, one of these. And it was like this old, like not used ship anymore. And they had a psychic on there. And so they bring us on there. And for 4 days, they were sleep deprived. We're barely eating. It's like horrible. So you're already sensory deprived. But then they wanted me to go down into this like haunted jail area where I'm supposed to lock myself into a cell, pitch black. I'm wearing cameras on top of me. And I completely freaked out and had an epic meltdown on camera.
Yeah, tell me I'm not going to Google that.
They bleeped everything out of my mouth. All you heard was beep, 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 beep. I was like, oh my God, so horrified. And I was like, get me out of here. Get me out of here. And I'm like, I'm bleeding. Like my lips started bleeding. It was like a whole, it was like a whole
What season was
thing,
this?
right? Like,
Was that what when
oh, I have no idea. I don't
was
know.
Linda Blair being the one that was
Find that.
I don't remember
there
who
was
like
one,
all
the
the
guy did it.
cast were. I
Oh,
just
she
know I
did
didn't win the prize.
You probably won a couple of castles for the square gun.
I mean, it was great TV for them, I guess, right?
yeah,
You
right,
know,
yeah.
it was good. But I mean, how could you do that? Stick a poor girl down in a haunted cell in the dark and lock her in? Like, that's just
No,
cruel,
we sign
you
up for
know?
that.
That is so your department. I want
It is.
nothing to do with that. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And they
It
had
is.
those thermal cameras, and I had like heat coming like next to me, but only on one side. So it would be one thing if you could say it was like, you know,
Right, yeah. If you were
both.
radiating,
If
it's
you're
one thing.
radiating, it's one thing, but you got like one side here, and
Mm-hmm.
they're making you watch this. And I just was like, I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna lose it. And then I did.
I'm so happy
So
to see this, Athena.
yeah, that was my my one of my not so proud moments. And now it's out there. So okay, well, you know, we all you
I'm
are
gonna
gonna
find
find
you
it.
and I'm
Mama.
gonna tag it on my line.
No, it's so not PG.
I know
You
it.
can't run
You
that
know
on
what to
TV.
do.
No, we're
You know,
not
I'm
put
gonna
that
say
on
it's
there.
not me.
No, it's just
There's
gonna be for us. For us
Just for
personally.
you. Just for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my
Do it
run-in with a
for-
haunted military ship. Like, oh my God. Yeah. I did not. I would be a terrible paranormal investigator.
There's a lot of
I leave that to
lot
you
of
guys.
places up here, you know, because I'm in Massachusetts now, but there's a lot. There's like the USS Constitution is up here. There's actually quite a few, you know.
Yeah,
I went
you
to
do.
I went to the naval base, and I can't say the word because it's going to sound like I'm feeding Mama's jaw. Right? It's Norfolk
Norfolk.
military.
Oh my God.
I told you, Erin, the show can go different ways.
There's never a dull moment.
I just can't say that word. And but I went there when I think I was like 14, and we were touring the ships because my sister's husband at the time was a naval officer there in a submarine, in one of the nuclear submarines. You can't believe how big they are. When you look at them and you see them on the pier and you see just the top of it, it looks, oh, it's tiny, you know? Huh. You get in there, like the first floor, the first thing you walk down into was a big place. They were watching a movie, right? So it's like a whole bunch of chairs there, big screen, they're watching movies. Then we toured all over the place. We couldn't go way down. But I swear to God, I saw a ghost on this stupid thing, you know, because I was like, there's a guy down the end. And I was like, well, what's that? Because I ask a lot of questions. Go figure, right? But I'm just like, well, what's this? What's that? I'm like, and you could sleep in that? I mean, there's like these little things, all the big areas, and then where they sleep is like this. Like, don't ever have a nightmare and wake up and go to sit up.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, God. Right? I'm like, I don't know how you do that. That's claustrophobia and the worst of senses. But I swear to God, there was a guy at the end, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about because shouldn't be anyone down there. You know, I don't know what their position. Maybe someone's just walking through or whatever. But it's like there was no other place to go there, you know. Right. And we were walking that way, and there's no one there then. So I'm like, all right, you know. And never thought about it until like years later when I got into like ghost something. I'm like, you know what? I bet that was something. But also on that ship, we had left it, and we were up on the deck, and we were looking at all the massive boats that are there that the people have to ride bikes, you know, to get from one side of the ship to the other because they're just so ginormous.
Massive, yes.
Yeah, when you're looking at them in person, it's a sight to see. It really is. But something happened inside the submarine we were in, and it made a big fireball. So there was too much oxygen, too much some kind of spark, but it made a fireball that came out and rolled out, went up the tube and then rolled out and just rolled all the way down the end and into the water and away. And I was just like, oh my God.
While you were there?
We were standing we were standing right on the dock thing. And I was just like, holy hell, you know, like no one got hurt. I don't, you know,
I mean,
just, giving you a little sign like, hey, this is what you're going to do later with your life. Get ready.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm done with submarines. No, that's all you, bud.
They are very claustrophobic, though. Yeah, you go in there and it's really tight spaces, and for the people who have to live on them for 8 months, 9 months, 18 months, depending how long their tour is. A lot of things can go on there. A lot of emotional resentments build. A lot of pain, loss, missing loved ones. People do pass away just from, not necessarily from being, murdered or something or killed in battle, but just,
Right.
because this is the nature of, the cycle of life. And, with all that built up resentment and anger and frustration and loss, that energy can get stuck there and stay there. And
Totally.
that's
Yes.
why you guys have a job, right?
That's right. That's exactly it. That's exactly why we do. But Sharon says, Athena, I needed clearing, and I did one of your classes, and I feel so much better. Thank you.
Oh, I am so grateful. I love to hear that. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, this is Sharon that came on the beach, house patient. Yes. Is that right?
She
Can
was.
she answer? I
Who
don't
is this?
even know if she can answer. Oh, that would be so fun. I didn't even realize that's the same person.
Well,
Oh,
What comes on is Loki. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank
small.
you. I'm so glad that was helpful. Oh my gosh. Amazing. Well, come back. Come do it again. Yes. All right, ladies. Well, I love you, but I really do have to go. I'm going to start getting,
in trouble.
Going to barge in this door. Yeah, I'm going to get in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mom life. Mom
Yeah.
life.
No bad mom.
But I love you. No bad mom.
I love you too.
I love you. Mwah. So lovely to meet you too, Erin. Let me know if you're ever over here. We'll do something fun.
Absolutely. Thank you. Nice meeting you too.
Nice to meet you. Bye, loves.
Bye. I love her. Don't you just love her?
Oh,
She's
yeah.
so much fun. She's so much fun. Oh, she said she felt it all the way from California. So she's going to watch that after. So I'll put that up for her. Felt it all the way from California, yes. And she's usually up on here. Her name's usually Loki. Okay, I'm losing my voice. I talk too much. You got to talk more.
I'm learning here. When I learn, I don't talk. I've got a list of places I need to go to. When I get my passport, they let me cross the states.
Yeah, well, I'm finding out a whole bunch of new places that I want to go to now.
People need to start making lists of places, and just in books, and make a book of all the different places. I know there was I can't put my hands on it. There was a map of all haunted places in Canada. Somebody had started it, and everybody would add something to it. I think that's like an amazing thing. It was just a combination of people getting together and doing it. That'd be like amazing. Each state needs to do that for themselves.
Yeah. Haunted New York. They have the Haunted New York Trail or something or other, but there's a lot of things listed on that. I mean, really, you can Google a lot of places in whatever areas you want to go to. But these books are cool because they give you a whole bunch of different locations and not just one spot. So. Like as when we were my Staten Island team, we were always looking for something different. We wanted something different. Not everyone's going to Eastern State, and everyone's going to Houghton Mansion, everyone's going here. Like we go to Wilson Castle, we go to something different. You know what I mean? And that's what I like, and especially not trampled on places, because then the spirits are really eager to talk to you.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Like that. Yeah. So what do you got here? Oh yeah, so she wanted to know if you Vermont is closest. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, Vermont's pretty close.
Do you know of any places in Vermont that you've written about? And Mary Jane says, well, I guess depending on which part of Canada you're at, right? So for Mama D, she's not too far. Like I had Googled it. It would be like a 7-hour drive for me to go from here to her or something like that. Was it 7 hours? It wasn't that bad. So I was like, yeah, I could go get Mama D's.
I've been to Philadelphia a couple times.
Yeah, because her husband's from. I want to kidnap you. They have duct tape and a rope, and I know you won't. I know I won't need it, but I have it.
Not say nothing.
Be for the border guards that won't let you pass.
You don't tell them about those things. Sharon's going, road trip.
Yes, road trip, definitely. Oh yeah, you
Next
can
summer,
drive.
okay? Let's not do this in the winter, people, because you know me, I don't like the cold. I'm grouchy when it's cold. Dude. I live where the minimum amount of snow that you're gonna get is gonna be like 5 feet.
Yeah, that's
And
up here.
that's in the non-snow plowed area. So 5 feet,
Yeah.
and I'm 5'4", so no, I don't think so.
That's what I like about Pennsylvania. No, not a lot of snow. I like that very much, and a lot of ghosts. So
A lot of ghosts.
it's good. It's good. It's my house. So seriously, if you come down, you can come stay at our house. We got plenty of room, and it's definitely haunted. I can tell you, introduce you to all the resident spirits in the house. They're nice. They're nice. Occasionally, we get some things that come through. We had 3 gay guys coming and interrupting us one time. Yeah, things we didn't need to know about. When they want to talk, they talk. And it's funny. It's funny. You never know. You can sneak her in the back of the truck. That's right. We can hide her right underneath that little thing there.
It better be you. That's all I gotta say. I'm well padded.
It wasn't me. The music was me.
Yeah, we warned you before you came on that this kind of gets to go everywhere in this show.
Yeah, but what
We're not your standard show.
Hey, that's what makes it fun,
right? We can bring it right back to paranormal because we can take you over by the Niagara Falls. We can cross the border there, and then we can go over to see Mount Calvary Cemetery is there. They got a replica of Stonehenge. It's a smaller version, exact replica of Stonehenge, but the cemetery itself is amazing. It's the nicest cemetery I've ever seen. They have a big Italian section, and the whole Italian. I love Italians. I'm Italian, right? So I mean, they have pictures on all the stones, and they're so super cool the way that they have them set up. That's the whole cemetery was just the coolest. I'm like, yep.
Oh, that sounds like I love cemeteries. I don't know what it is about cemeteries, whether they're haunted or not. I love exploring them. Last year I was in a cemetery in New York, in Ithaca, New York, and I could get lost in there, just reading the headstones, just exploring. I just think it's so much fun.
Yep. And oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, she can't drive yet. She's still in recovery here. She's getting her things all situated and back and legs. All right, well, we're gonna give Mama D a little time to get ready anyway. Go up there.
I have to be able to bury the body
first. You're gonna be so shocked that someday I'm just gonna show up at your door.
Oh yeah.
Because I'll do it. I have a passport. I'm not afraid to use it.
Hey yo,
hey yo, Mama D. I got some hunting equipment. Let's go. Oh my god! All right, what do we got here now? Don't worry. It's a Jeep. Yes, it's a nice. Yeah, it's a good vehicle for the snow. Yep, it's a good vehicle for the snow. It is. Got Casper on the side too, so yeah. Yeah. It does. It's white. It's pretty. We went to see Josh Gates in it.
Come on up.
Yeah. Do you like that? Like Josh Gates? Like
yes.
All that stuff? Oh my God. We met him, Sharon, and I went to Jersey to see him at a little theater. Then we met him and talked to him a little bit, and he said he was supposed to do the show. Never. Yeah, Marona me. I don't know. But it's supposed to be on here, right? So, but he is a great guy, and I would love to do stuff like that. Think of all the places that he goes, and how much, like when they're filming, how much EVPs they must get.
Oh yeah,
that
Oh
they
yeah.
have to like edit out, you know, or whatever.
Yeah, he's got my dream job. It's
Mhm.
just goes, and that is just what I want to do. I just want to do it, but I
You
can't do it
never
right
know.
now.
You never know.
Then
You
you
never
have to
know.
grow up.
Yeah. You know, you won't get it if you don't try for it too.
True. Yes.
Yeah. He's taping 3 shows right now. Yeah, he's a busy guy. He really
Wow.
is. I mean, you got to jump on the bandwagon
You'll forget
when,
the
when what is it? The fire in the kettle hut and whatnot, whatever that saying.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
All right. So getting back to you, Erin, where, how many books do you have out now? I mean,
I have 3.
okay.
Hauntings Around America 1 and 2, and then a Haunting Diary, which is just like a first-person experience in some of the investigations I've done. Mhm.
So how come I only got 2? So I have the diary and I have volume 2. So I don't have volume 1. So I have to get that. Because I like to have complete sets. So
I'll get
just-
you one. I'll
Yeah,
send it your way.
You got to check out the other shows that we do. She has a wall of bookshelves behind her in her house, and everybody's got like a section. And so, like,
Really?
she'll put you in a section. You'll be like, okay, over there.
yeah, there's a ghost hunting section. There's a ghost section. You
That's
know.
awesome. I will send one your way.
Awesome. Aw, I knew I liked you. but like, do you have a regular team that you go with?
No.
Just-
I'm more of a solo person. I invite people to come with me. Usually some of my followers, I'll be like, I'm going to be here and here. If you guys want to come, let me know. And, I have to, check a little bit just to make sure, who that person is. But I always welcome people to come because I want people to get into it like I do. If you like it, a lot of people don't know how to get into it, how to get started. So I like to bring people in and show them the craft and show them how I do it. And, maybe I can learn something from them too. So,
everyone knows everything.
Right. Exactly. And, I just enjoy doing that. I also, when I do nationwide investigations, I will, usually hook up with the local teams there. Like I did the War Party Paranormal down in Miami.
Yeah, it was just with Scotty. Yeah.
Were you? Okay.
Yeah, the bash. Yeah. Yeah.
She's really nice. I've only seen her digitally because she wasn't at the investigation I was at. Eric was running lead on that one, but we've done some podcasts where we've hopped on together, and she seems so sweet. So,
well, she's a love. She is. She really is. And she's just so sweet in person when you meet her. Oh my God, she is so tall.
Is she really?
Yes.
Wow.
She's really tall. Her legs are almost as tall as me. She's really, really tall. But she's just the smile. You see her from across the room. This huge beaming smile. I love her.
Oh yeah. Every time I've seen her, she's got a big smile. I love that. I love that.
Yeah. And she loves paranormal. So
there you go.
So where did you go? What did you do?
We did the Gold Coast Railroad Museum. That was fun. That was exciting. I don't think I've ever had a spirit cuss me out so much. And I was in tears laughing. It was just that funny because, I'm not someone that provokes spirits. I don't think that's right. But this one had me just dying laughing because he was so upset. Like, I hate you, F you, just constant. God, and we're just laughing so hard. And I'm like, I know that he's going to throw something in my head in a minute.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I know, because they're going to be big and bad and you're like laughing at them.
Yeah. That didn't help, but it was a really eventful night. They were so much fun to investigate with. They're such great investigators. So it was really fun.
Awesome. Yeah, Bob and I were just on a podcast, their podcast. So yeah, that was fun too. Let's see. What's this thing? I can't really see it until I put it up here. Oh, that's cool, Erin. And she's laughing. Okay. All right. But so where are you off to next?
I'm going to be doing a paranormal road trip. I do it every October. I'm gonna start in Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. That's one of my favorite towns. I love it there. People don't realize how haunted it is, but it's pretty haunted. I mean, all the buildings, some of them are from the 1700s, so they've seen some things.
Yeah, they sold a lot of
Yeah.
slaves out there.
Right. Yes. And I think that contributes a lot to it. And then when the Civil War hit, there was battles, John Brown. So that all happened there. So there's a lot.
Indians. Yeah, the fort's up by there
fort,
too, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was shocked the first time I saw that fort because it's about this big. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I know, right? It's like,
That's what you picked.
But there's an old courthouse there too. That's there's a museum down below and the courthouse up above. We were doing some EVPs in there, and we were getting, because we were fooling around, we were getting reprimanded.
Were you really?
Yeah. Middle of the day, just because we always carried our equipment. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we were down there. We were going over to Moundsville and stuff too. So we're doing a whole West Virginia thing. But I couldn't believe it. We get yelled at. We got yelled at Hillview Manor too, because same group of girls. Yeah, we were fooling around up on the top floor up there, where like the nurse's station. We were in. It was the end of the night. We're like cleaning up and we're doing all this stuff. A lot of things happened there anyway. I mean, we got so many EVPs up there. It's just insane to even say how many. All right, but we were cleaning everything up, and us three girls, it was me, Sue, and Marie, and we were laughing and laughing and laughing. We kept hitting the buzzer, the room buzzers, and the nurse's station was like maybe 20 feet down the hall. Okay. And you hear, because of course we have our recorders and everything still running, the cameras and the recorders and everything. And you hear the nurses going, girls, right? Yelling at us. Stop hitting the buzzer. I'm like, oh my God, on top of everything else. They're like, one of the claims there is that a guy would take your picture for money because they wanted to buy cigarettes. So we would use those for trigger props, cigarettes, and they would. There was a golf course down there, so they would go and gather all the golf balls and resell the golf balls back to the golfers so they can buy the cigarettes. So we would use all that. But I can't remember the name. It'd begin with a C, but I can't remember it. And he was saying, you can hear him in the background going, click, click, smile, and that's like the EVP. So he's taking our pictures, and then we had all our equipment in the middle of the hall, and we're like saying, go ahead, you can go near it. And it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to burn you or scratch you or, do all the, the whole spiel that you say. And, they're saying, I wouldn't touch that. I'm not going near that. And you can hear them all talking, all different voices, all of them saying that they're not going to touch anything,
Wow, that's
despite what we were saying, that none of it's going to hurt you. They just didn't believe us.
They just didn't.
No. Yeah.
That's amazing. I love when you get multiple voices and they're really into it, really kind of battling with you.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Me too. And when they're talking to each other about us,
Yes. I had that the other night. I did an investigation at Post Town in Ohio. It's an old school. And I was by myself. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
And the whole night, you could just hear them talking about me. Well, at one point I had a medium on the phone with me. I was talking to her and I was like, are you picking up anything? She's like, they're talking about you. They want you gone. And then we played it back a little bit later, some of the recordings, and you could hear them talking about, she's a ditz. It was one of them. It was, I think that's what they said. Maybe they said something else. I don't know. But they actually ended up really freaking me out, and I ended up leaving. It was probably my funniest story looking back. So I don't know if I have time, I'll share it with you.
Yeah, you have plenty of time.
Okay.
Please share. I love it.
So you know how most places have a break room, you know, where you can just go and relax. It's the only place in the building that had AC. So I was just relaxing, playing on my phone. And the room's kind of like a museum. They have, you know, different articles about the place. There's some Halloween decorations over on the side, a couple of skeletons. And I'm sitting there playing on my phone, and one of the skeletons starts moving like this. And I'm like, what? And then I'm thinking, you know, I'm just, you know, my mind's playing tricks on me.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, then the thing flings forward, just flings forward. Now you've got my attention. And then the skull starts rolling towards me.
I'm sorry.
And I'm like,
you feel like you're being
what?
punked or something, right?
Yeah. I stood up. I was like, thank you. Have a good night. I'm done, because I get it. When you start throwing things, we're done. So, but and later I was like, wait, the skull was attached to it. How did it come off? And skulls aren't balls. Why did it roll towards me on a flat floor? It was rolling towards me. I was like, I get it. I'm out of here. I get it. So that's my
yeah. That would do it for me too. Yeah.
Yeah, the first time I've ever been scared away by a Halloween decoration, but hey, it is what it is.
I'm sorry.
It was funny looking back.
Yeah. I mean, scary things happen, but you know, I mean, mostly scary things happen when people ask for them, you know, and you don't really want them, you know, like that girl I was telling you before the show at Ohio State in the basement. This girl Sue was taunting the prisoners down there because she's gay, and she was saying vulgar things to them, like, you know, how she could handle their girlfriends better than them and everything else, right? And I was just like, why are you even talking like this? You know, well, she got bit right here, you know, so you can't bite yourself on your shoulder, right? You know, I certainly didn't bite her. I'm filming, right? But she went, ow, you know, and then I watched it and I filmed it of the bite marks coming, you know, just getting bigger and bigger and darker, and you could actually see, you know, teeth and everything. I'm like, oh my God, you know. And then she's like, I can't believe they did that. I'm like, I can. You asked for it, you know, you're taunting them, you know, what do you expect?
Right.
You know, and those are the bad things that can happen. But but we always, with that team, we would always send people into the scariest part of whatever location we were in. What's the scariest part? And each one of us had to go in there, whether it was 20 minutes or 40 minutes or 45 minutes, depending on how long we had the place for, you know. So each one would have to go and spend that time there, you know, by themselves. And that's the place that we picked, you know, and that's the only place that I actually was scared, because we didn't go. If anybody's been to Ohio State, it's like where the governor's quarters part is, and the big staircase goes down to the basement. That's where we ended up, but you couldn't get. That staircase was inaccessible to upstairs. You had to go through like a side entrance, and you have to walk through this maze to get there. And then when you're there, you're in the dark, you know, and alongside of you are these open areas, and you can hear talking, you know, and you just like, please just don't come near me, please, because I know that she got bit. I know that they're not nice. You know, this is already in my head. So that was the only time I could genuinely say that I was scared to be in a place alone.
And that'll do it.
And that, yes, it does. I mean, it just, you know, really brings up your, you know, you're aware. But the EVPs and everything, I couldn't make out clearly what they were saying, but it wasn't nice stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And who was down there, and but I still love the prison. I mean, because we got so much activity in that prison, it's just beyond.
Oh, I bet.
You know, that's the Shawshank prison.
Yes, that's it. Yes,
yeah,
I want to. I'll get there. I will get there.
Yeah, Lourdes. Oh, is that Facebook user is Lourdes? Because it says
That's
Facebook
Lourdes,
user.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Hi, Lourdes. Lourdes. She's part of our Ghost Detectives TV.
Oh, hi.
Yeah. Her and Ron Yakovitty, Yak Man. Yeah. Yes, I know. I got it. What time we got? How are we doing? Oh, we only have 10 minutes left.
Okay,
Yeah,
quick question, Erin. If there's anybody that you could choose to go on an investigation with besides Gina, Okay.
That's
Who
what I
would
was
you
gonna
want
say.
it to be?
Ah,
That's why I canceled her out.
That's a good question. It's a really good question. I'm gonna go, and this is just because I watched him on TV forever. Jason from Ghost Hunters. I don't know why. He used to really be into debunking things. So I'm always been for someone that wants to debunk something. Versus someone who's like, oh my gosh, that was, that shadow. Did you see that? That was clearly a spirit, that kind of thing. I've always liked him. I've always liked Grant.
I love Grant. I love investigating with Grant. Grant
Have
is
you investigated with
sweet.
him?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yep.
Yeah. He's one of the, he seems so sweet. So
Yeah, he really is. He's that nice in person.
is he?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he even brings cookies.
Oh, okay. Well, then he wins.
No,
So I want to investigate with
There
Grant.
you
Yeah.
He wins.
He wins.
go.
He wins. Yeah, Grant is great too. I have not investigated with Jason, but I have Steve, Dave, Grant, John Zappis is awesome to investigate with. He's such a love. But yeah. I mean, there's
So
so
we
many.
need to
There's so
hook
many.
you up with Gina so she can hook you up with Grant.
I guess so. Yeah.
Gina, make it happen.
I'm on it.
Let's do it. I'm ready to get out there and investigate. And I love coming to the East Coast. That's my favorite place. Like I said.
Well, you can come stay at my house. Mi casa, su casa. Definitely always open. Our doors to investigators and stuff too. So we're a good pivot point. There's a lot of good locations you can run around.
At
Like I said,
Halloween.
we're only a couple hours away from Getty's. We got Waynesboro now. We got the haunted Hoover House that you got to see. That in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. That's not that bad. It's maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours or so. Still, but time goes like this.
Oh yeah.
And if
Yeah,
you go out
I would
Halloween,
love.
Erin,
What's that?
She and Bob make them. If you go out around Halloween to her place, she and Bob do an amazing Halloween decoration. It takes her the whole
that's
freaking month of October, and she has trust me, I get messages from her going, this is
Yes, setting everything up. God damn it!
I'm a revenge machine. She can message me and cuss out all she wants. I have no problem. And then she'd be like, I'll be like, are you done? She goes, yeah. I said, is it finished? She goes, no. I said, okay.
I love it. I want to decorate so bad, but I never find the motivation to actually do it. Pretty bad. But I was at a store the other day and I saw all of the animatronics and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to get all of these. So we'll see if this year I can turn it into something.
Yeah, we got a lot of that stuff. Like I had the big boat guy last year and stuff, but we throw in stuff that we make too. Like he's working on a teeter-totter thing for some dolls for kids. We want to have a little playground for the kids. So we got the cemetery. We got all our ghouls and ghosts and goblins and everything else and skeletons everywhere. We got the screen set up for all the 3D.
I think the screen is the best.
Screen thing that the ghosts and things look like they're coming out and dancing and all that kind of stuff. So we have that. That's like my whole garage door is that, and above that is skeletons sitting on the roof and all kinds of stuff.
So cool.
They're everywhere. It's everything. I don't know. But I have a wedding that I have to get. Bob's niece is getting married in the middle of October. I'm like, I could kill you. My month, but I'm building all this stuff, doors and painting and everything. So her to walk through in the field. And so it's like, that's taking a lot of my time away from my Halloween stuff. Like, God, a wedding? Really? But, I'm on it. I'm still on it. But it's just my Halloween has to take a back door to the wedding this year, which is okay. It's because it's his niece. It's okay. I love her.
That's good.
Yeah, I do love her.
His family. We'll let
Richard Johnson, paranormal investigator. Well, thank you, Richard, for making that clear. I love Halloween. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? It's like as soon as it ends, it's like, okay, it's 364 days till
Right.
holiday.
Yeah.
And it's like Christmas is coming up. I hate Christmas.
Yeah.
No, I'm waiting for January 1st. Thank you very much. Okay, that's it.
What?
I said I'm waiting for January 1st.
Why?
Once September rolls around, all I want to do is jump to January. Through October, November.
After the holidays? We should have Halloween twice a year.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Right? We should just make it a thing. All right.
Yeah.
So who's in charge of holidays anyway? Right. So who's in charge of holidays? We're gonna put out a writ. All right. We want Halloween twice a year. We want one like, spring.
Yeah, the spring
Yeah.
Halloween and the fall Halloween. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Right.
do it.
When you change the clocks. Right?
There you go. Yeah,
Halloween, both times.
it works.
That way you can remember when to set the clocks back and forth.
There you go.
Halloween.
Even
See?
better.
I told you I should be ruling the world.
You should.
All the paranormal investigating places would be all upkept nicely.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing. That's what we did, like Penhurst Paracon for, was upkeep of Penhurst.
Mhm.
And you did right about Penhurst.
I did. Yes.
The things we love Penhurst.
That's one of the ones I have not been to, but I want to get to.
All right. So when you come up, we'll take you to Penhurst.
Okay, perfect. That works for me.
We get you into everywhere too.
That is amazing.
We
I
got
would,
an
I
in.
would love to.
Yeah, we got a little bit of an in with Penhurst.
Do you? Okay, well then let's go. I'm ready.
Yeah. Oh, Sharon, we need May, June, July, August,
I
October.
hear you.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
All right. What do we got? We got
We got
5
about
minutes.
5 minutes left.
5 minutes. Oh man, I like this show.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of paranormal shows on. We should have more. We really should have more.
I'll
I
talk
enjoy
to the lady who does the booking.
I know, because we're booked like so far in advance, and it's like it's agents. Agents get in touch with me. She has one, so I
Yes.
mean, so that's how I found her, and I'm like, I'm like, thank God I did, because I really enjoyed meeting you.
Yes.
I do want to investigate with you. So really seriously, next time you come to Pennsylvania, just message me, let me know when you come in. You definitely welcome to stay at my house. I'm not kidding, right? And I don't have to go with you on your investigations and stuff like that. I wouldn't insinuate myself, but I mean, if you did have things to do, I would get it. You know what I mean?
No,
But you could definitely stay.
Oh, well, thank you. No, definitely. I want to investigate with you for sure. There's so many places. I'm trying to block a couple of weeks where I can get out and do some of this stuff. I want to get to like Fort Mifflin. I want to get to places like that.
I know Greg there too. So
do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know everybody. I'm jealous. But yeah, that's another one I want to get to. Penhurst, though, top of the list up there with Ohio. So
yeah, Ohio, yeah. It is. It seriously is, and I know it would be yours too.
Oh yeah,
the best. Like Moundsville. I like Moundsville for a lot of reasons. Like I'd love to have a Paracon at Moundsville just because it's a good place for it.
Yes,
because you can have the nice air conditioned place for vendors. You can go down to the Sugar Shack and do investigations during the day, take them and have investigations at night in the jails and stuff like that. But there's bats, and bats ruin a lot of things.
They do.
Ohio State, you could have a Paracon there, but they're pricier. They are pricier, but they're worth it. So people want, if you were interested in going there, there's tours that you can do during the day. You get the building at night. They make you pay for insurance, an extra charge for insurance, which a lot of places do. But hey, covers your butt, right? Do it. So you never know what's going to happen. But it is an amazing jail. It just what you get there, and it's going to be a variety. And I'm not going to say anything because I want to know what you get out of all the places, but all I can say is solitary confinement.
Oh, always. Doesn't matter where you go. That always is something going on.
Oh yeah, active.
Yeah. No, I'm ready to go. So hopefully I can get that one booked soon, or get out there at least to do a tour soon. So
Definitely.
I
Yeah,
need to
definitely.
get going. I need to
I
get
know. What are you doing? What are you doing sitting here talking to us? You should be booking things. Get out there. You're still young. You can still run around.
Making it life.
Oh god. All right. Well, we're down to our
Lovies,
last
it's time.
yeah. But I really I enjoyed yapping so much. But I'm sorry. I get
That's what this show is. This show
passion.
is us getting together, getting to know a new friend, exchanging energies, exchanging information, and learning. So this is what this place is all about.
and I love it. It's awesome. And
Thanks.
thank you. It was so nice meeting both of you, and thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. You know what I'm gonna play? Instead of our exit video, I think I'm gonna play the Vortex Ghost Gear. It's got the short ad. I think this has everything. I want you to see all the equipment that we sell. So this is how I'm gonna end the show. Okay, people. So I'm not sure if we're gonna see you next week because we had the bug eating guy, and I don't know if I'm gonna
Yeah, because I didn't get my num-nums.
yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna do that show. All right.
Come on. I was willing
But
to
hey,
eat bugs, okay?
yeah. Ugh. I'm still not. Okay. Unless they're in the food that you don't know about, which we do eat anyway, but no, thank you. All right. So I'm going to play this video. You guys watch this video. Erin, watch this video. Hang with us anyway. And everybody else, we'll see you the next week or the week after. All right. So ciao. The Fox Den is now proudly sponsored by Vortex Ghost Gear, ghost hunting equipment made by an actual ghost hunter. Bob Christopher has been creating custom gear for decades. Vortex has equipment for all manner of investigating, such as proximity meters, which include the HTO, the V-Pod, and the trigger prop cats and dogs. For vibration, use the geophone. For manifestation, use the static dome, also offering fully customizable equipment designed for your specifications, such as using your team logo, theme, or a character. Our first, the Cryptochords box for motion and temperature, which also includes custom music, and the other customizable item is the Easy Scan Ghost Box. Visit www.vortexghostgear.com and get your equipment